All right, so we got a customer's car in the shop today. We're doing back brakes and rotors. We actually did this vehicle the other day. We swapped out the front rotors and brakes. We already swapped the pads out on the back. We just wasn't able to get the rotors on because we were outside at the time and wasn't able to get the rotors off because it was just getting too late and a little bit too cold. So we brought the car into the shop and now we're about to get ready to put on the rotors, check the pads, make sure they're still good. It's only been a couple days, so we shouldn't have any issues with the new pads, and then put it all back together and it should be good to go. So I had to cut the video, my time-lapse video a little short because what was happening was these e-brakes, emergency brakes right here were too tight up against the rotor. So we had to unloosen it right here just to get the rotor off. Luckily it wasn't seized or anything like that on this hub. And we got the rotor off. Let's see, this rotor is pretty bad as you can see. It's got just this little part. This whole thing is supposed to be smooth. And as you can see, it's got a little broken off right there and everything like that. So that's why we put new rotors on it. And let's get, so here's the new rotor. As you can see, it's a total difference. That whole thing is flat. Backside, right there, smooth and flat. All on the inside, smooth and flat. So we're just gonna take some brake clean the rotors off, make sure there's no grease getting, you know, all that off of there real quick before we put them on. We're gonna clean the back and the front, as well as the inside where the e-brakes go and stop, so that make sure that's clean, and then we'll put them back on and we're good to go. All right, so we got the new rotor on. Had to put the bracket back on for the caliper bracket back on, the rotors on, get ready to tighten them down. But major issue with putting the new brake pads on the old rotor, which you shouldn't do, but I was in a bind, which I'm gonna have to run to the parts store, get new parts, is that this messed up the brake pad here. I don't know if you guys can see that little groove there in there. So that one's messed up, as well as this one over here is messed up. Messed up too. So brand new brake pads. I'm gonna have to go swap these out. So the other side probably looks just the same. So we're gonna wait till we get the other side off and then probably run to the parts. So we got new rotors on and we went and got the new brake pads here. You guys can see these are perfect, no issues. We're gonna go ahead and put these on. And we already put the new hardware in. It's always hard. All right, so we got a new rotor, new brake pads on there, you can see. So customer should have a nice smooth ride from here on out. So new rotors and brakes on the front, new rotors and brake pads on the back. We did look at everything else. All the other stuff seems to be okay right now, except for this right here. This might need to be replaced. Just a little, like a little screw and bushing for the spring, for the strut there. So that's about it. But yeah, that's it. Put the rim on, jack it down, and send them on his way. So we got tires back on and we got the wheels torqued down thanks to my handy dandy torque wrench here. These particular wheels need to be, the lug nuts need to be torqued down to 140 foot-pounds of torque, which we did a double check. So we torqued it down to 140 and then we just retorqued it to make sure it was at 140, make sure we didn't have any loose nuts, bolts, or lug nuts, and she's all set to go. So we'll test it out and on to the next one, baby.